Hey guys, I'm Lindsay. I'm a senior also in civil engineering, and I'm from Kaneohe as well. And I graduated from Castle High School in 2017.
So a little fast facts about UH Manoa. The total enrollment is about 17,000 students. We have about 12,500 undergraduate students. The tuition is about $11,000 a year with housing at about $13,000 a year. Compared to mainland schools, this is like incredibly cheap, especially for the housing. We are a Research One institution, so we have a lot of funding for research and a lot of opportunities for undergraduate students to do research. We have Division One athletics, and we have a ton of study abroad and exchange programs. So we're also going to talk about engineering at UH Manoa.
So engineering is applying mathematics and science to produce ideas and products that benefit our society. So at UH, we have a number of different engineering degrees. We have mechanical, electrical, computer, civil and environmental, construction. And we also have something called engineering science, which has two concentrations, one in aerospace and one in biomedical. And that's our kind of a newer program. We're hoping to expand it in each into its own major.
Okay, so just a little bit more fast facts. So our total enrollment at the College of Engineering specifically is around 1,200 students with around 151 graduate students. And there's also around 300 students that are placed in pre-engineering. Pre-engineering is kind of like, oh, my face, I'm sorry. Pre-engineering is if you didn't meet the requirements in high school, and we'll go over those requirements a little bit later, but that's okay because you'll still be on track with everyone else to graduate on time. You'll just have to apply into the college a little later with your college grades instead of high school grades. So the average graduation rate is around 4.5 years, and that is just dependent on the student. You could take as fast as 3.5 years, or you could take a little bit longer. It's just dependent on if you had credits coming in prior, or maybe you took a little longer because you did internships or exchange programs. So it's just basically dependent on you as the student, but you can finish as fast as 4 years and even faster. The largest discipline is mechanical, and we have around a 23% rate of female students. As a female at the college, I don't really see a difference really. It seems pretty split down the middle, and gender doesn't seem to be a big issue within my classes. Our student to faculty ratio is 15:1. That is a really low student to faculty ratio. So when you think of other colleges or other big classes, there'll be around 300 students. So you'll just be another name on your professor's roster. They won't know really anything about you, and you can't really make that connection. But here at the College of Engineering, it's a really low faculty ratio, which means that you can get a lot of help from your professors, and they're really well versed in the field, so they can really help you out.
The College of Engineering also offers one-on-one faculty advising each semester. So you're assigned a faculty within your major and you have to go to them each semester, and they just make sure that you're on track with your classes and set to graduate on time, excuse me. We also have career fairs each semester with about 90 industry members coming and talking about their company. And this is an incredible source for getting internships, or even once you graduate college, it's a great place to look for your career. We also offer Engineering 100 classes. So this is more of a class to see if you're actually interested in engineering, because if you're still unsure, then this class would be a great class to take. It also offers like soft skills to practice. We have a ton of engineering organizations, so a lot of clubs to offer tutoring by honor societies. And we also have an Engineering Ohana, which is a residential learning program in one of the dorms in Johnson Hall. So that program is about 2 floors with only engineering students, and it's a great place for you to network and to meet your fellow engineer students, especially when you're like a freshman and sophomore and still getting to know each other. And Lindsay can probably talk a little more about that since she was a part of the program.
Yeah, so I was a part of this program when I was a freshman, and it was a really great experience because when you get to college, it's really different, and you get to meet a lot of different people, and you get to have an easier transition. And you can also form a lot of great study groups. So when you are in your first like 1.5 years in the College of Engineering, every single discipline, no matter what you are, engineer, if you're electrical or civil or anything, you're still going to be taking all the same prerequisites, which is really nice about the College of Engineering. And because you're taking all the same classes, everyone on that floor is taking the exact same classes as you are. So if you're like struggling to like finish your physics homework like last minute, you can just knock on someone's door and they'll probably be able to help you. So that's just a really great way if you have the opportunity. Like I'm from Oahu, but I still decided to dorm because I wanted to meet people and I wanted to make those connections. So it's a really great opportunity.
So here we have listed a whole bunch of career opportunities in Hawaii. So on the very left column, those are the majors that we offer here at UH. But just because you take one of those majors, it doesn't mean you're confined to only working in that area. For example, an electrical engineer can easily work in nuclear, microwave, renewable energy. So there's just a whole bunch of opportunities from the majors that we have that you can do in Hawaii.
So the average entry-level salary is, as you can see on the screen, it's pretty high. It's from around $59,000 to up to almost $70,000. So that's really good to have as just having a bachelor's degree. Usually you would have to have a master's or a PhD to get this high of a starting salary. So what we just want to say here is engineering is a really stable job. There's always a need for engineers because everything that you see in wherever you are is engineering. So you have a really good opportunity with getting some job security.
So this is the really important part for you guys, the freshman admissions requirements. So just for UH Manoa, the cumulative required GPA is a 2.8. For engineering, it's a 3.0. For the SAT scores, it's a 560 in reading and writing, 540 in math. And if you also take the ACT, then it's a 22 overall. The engineering requirements include, for the College of Engineering, it includes trig, physics, and chemistry. And if you don't meet any of these requirements, it's completely okay because you'll just go into pre-engineering, which is something that I went into actually. And then after your first year, I believe, you just fill out a form and it easily switches you into whichever discipline you want to be in. So it's really easy if you don't make these requirements.
Okay, we also have listed here exam scores for college credits. So if you take either AP exams or IB exams, you can get, or depending on your score for the exam, you can get college credits for UH. And this is very helpful to take if you're not already, and you can. I would take, AP exams, IB exams, because they can give you, college credit, and that's always useful because I took a bunch of AP courses in high school, and because of those classes, I passed out of a lot of my college courses. So I'm now a semester ahead. I can graduate if I wanted to in 3.5 years, as opposed to, the usual 4. And even if you don't do that well on your exams, it still gives you a lot of good background knowledge because I took AP physics and the score I got didn't count for any of the physics classes I needed, but it really helped me in my first physics class for college because it already had that background knowledge, and it was the transition was a lot easier. So yeah, highly encouraged to take whatever kind of exams you can, or these AP courses or IB courses if you can.
Okay, so this is your typical freshman schedule. So as you can see, you're taking most of your prerequisites like English, history, some physics, and definitely your math and chemistry. So as I mentioned before, no matter what discipline you are, you will be taking the same classes. So this is really great and something that's really unique about the College of Engineering because if you're maybe on the fence about maybe 2 different disciplines, like maybe you decide to be in electrical, but as you go through your first year, you're just like, oh, it's maybe not for me. And you realize mechanical really is something that you really passionate about, then you can easily switch throughout and you won't be put behind in any way. So that's what's really great about having the same schedule, no matter what discipline you are.
The College of Engineering also offers additional support and opportunities. So there's tons of scholarships for undergraduate students and graduate students. Something we like to think about as scholarships is it's kind of like a part-time job. So if you work for 4 hours a day at $10 an hour, you'll make $40 a day. But if you work on your scholarship, $1,000 scholarship for maybe like just 2 hours, you're going to save a ton of time and you'll get a lot more money from doing that instead of doing part-time jobs. As we said before, Manoa is the College of Engineering is a research one institution, so we get tons of funding for research. A lot of the mainland schools, they actually don't offer research for undergraduate students, but at Manoa, it's highly encouraged that you guys do research while you're in your undergrad. We have a ton of internship opportunities. You can look for them at the career fairs that we have each semester. We have co-op programs, fellowships, a ton of study abroad programs, and something fairly new is the BAM pathways. So that stands for bachelor's and master's pathways. That's something that I'm currently a part of. So you can get your bachelor's in 4 years, and in your final semester in your senior year, you can take a couple classes that will go to your master's program, and then you can finish your master's in hopefully 1 year. So it's a really great opportunity if you're trying to save time and money to get your master's as well.
So one of the notable things about Manoa, the College of Engineering, is that we have undergraduate student projects. So this is where freshmen through seniors can join together and collaborate on a research project or just some sort of building project. So on the slide on the top left, we have a micro mouse. That's an electrical engineering project, building a little robot that can navigate a maze. On the right, we have a steel bridge competition where they build this bridge made out of steel and they engineer it so that it can withstand a whole bunch of different forces. On the bottom left, we have the Formula One race car. It's a mechanical engineering thing. And I think either this semester or the upcoming semesters, they're trying to make it an electric vehicle now. And on the bottom right, you have the concrete canoe. Concrete's pretty heavy, so it takes some physics and engineering to be able to make it float. So the one I'm in right now currently is aerospace technology. So we're developing a 1U CubeSat. So it's a tiny little cube satellite that we're going to send up into space and hopefully take pictures of the Hawaiian Islands. So what I'm doing is I'm on the OBC subsystem. So that deals with that's onboard computer, and it deals with the different functions of the satellite, just controlling everything. Yeah, so the undergraduate student projects are very good because they give you good hands-on experience with whatever you're learning, or you can take the concept you're learning in classes and kind of apply them in these projects, and you can work with a whole bunch of, if you're an underclassman, you can work with the upperclassmen, and if you're junior, senior, you can pass down your knowledge to the younger students.
Another great thing about working on these student projects is a lot of these teams do get to travel to the mainland, or when we could travel to the mainland to showcase what they've been doing over the year. And it's a really great time to network with the mainland students as well. So me and Lindsay are a part of American Society of Civil Engineers, so ASCE. And I was actually on the concrete canoe team last year and this year. Unfortunately, we weren't able to travel due to COVID, but it was a really great experience to be a part of the team.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of our presentation, but just some takeaways and advice is, as Adam said, take your AP and IB exams, or if you're near a community college, you can do Running Start as well. That's just to get some credits prior and some background knowledge. And so for some preparedness options, so you can take robotics, AutoCAD, programming, anything to just get you in the mindset of engineering and problem solving would be really great. And we also have the College of Engineering High School Internship Program, which we provide during the summer from your junior to senior year. It's a really great program. I was a part of it when I was in high school, and it was a really determining factor for me to choose engineering. And it really showed me what the field is like and that it was a good match for me. So if you are in that age range, then it'd be a really great opportunity to take advantage of. Our applications are usually open from January to February. So It's probably either out now or soon, so you can look it up on our engineering website. The characteristics of a good engineer is to have creativity, because you have to have really good problem solving and have a lot of innovation to figure out the problems in the world that we have today. You need to have really good persistence. As you probably all know, engineering is a more rigorous major than a lot of others. And sometimes you're going to experience classes that you might really dislike or you might think you're really bad at. But just because you're not really great at one class doesn't mean you can't be a great engineer. For example, I really struggled in my transportation class. So maybe that just tells me that I shouldn't be a traffic engineer. I mean, I can't be an engineer. So being persistent is really great. And you need to have collaboration and teamwork skills. So you're never going to be working alone on a project. And sometimes you'll be working with people who aren't even in your major. So being able to be well-versed and sociable is really important in engineering. You also want to build your writing and oral communication skills. You may think that it's just science and math, but it's really not. It's actually really heavy on communicating and writing. So if you have the greatest idea in the world and are using the best technology and the best scientific facts and whatever, it won't matter if you can't properly speak it out to the public or speak it out to the owners. So it's a really good skill to have. And engineering is a major that translates into job security. As we said, it's one of the only majors that you can get a really high starting salary with only a bachelor's degree. So
thank you guys for coming to listen to us. We're gonna have questions at the end after another presentation, but thank you guys again.
Okay, thank you to our student ambassadors. So now we're going to shift gears and hear from our Native Hawaiian Science and Engineering Mentorship Program, or NSEM. And we actually have a student as well to present, Kama.
Apologies, everyone. Can everyone see the slides? Is it all there? Okay. So Velina Mai again, everyone, and welcome to the College of Engineering booth. Today, our section will be talking about NSEM, or Native Hawaiian Science and Engineering Mentorship Program. So our goal overall, and if you want, you can read our mission as well. Our goal overall is to put Native Hawaiians and other minority groups, such as women and other sects of people, and to push them forward into the major STEM fields and to create leaders out of them. Because we know that oftentimes we're underrepresented in these areas, and we need to do our best to change that. So addressing a lot of what the previous presentation had talked about, I'm going to be talking about our Freshman Bridge program. So this is something that I experienced and I'm technically an alumni of, and that I did this past summer. And what the Freshman Bridge does is that it helps incoming high school students going into their first year of university transition, and it makes it a much smoother process. And so what it is that it's a 10-week summer program that's more math intensive, and also you take a Hawaiian 107 class, which is a part of your requirements. And in addition to this, all of this is paid for by NSEM. And so essentially you're knocking off about 7 credits that otherwise you would have had to pay for or have cluttered up your schedule throughout your school years. In addition to this, we also provide a university STEM research project that practices similar to what the undergraduate research project had done. And it helps students practice their necessary engineering skills, researching skills and such, and hones them while under the eyes, of a senior mentor who is either a professor or researcher in that field. And because of this, it helps students transition better while also gaining that research experience. And if by the end that you've completed all the necessary requirements, you'll also receive an academic stipend upon the end and completion of the program. However, once this is done, don't leave us just yet. NSEM continues on throughout the school years. So by continuing to be a member of our NSEM Scholars Program, we provide academic, financial, social, and other services as well. So in regards to our academic, we provide learning centers and such, in addition to tutoring if you ever need to. So you can always just come into us and we'll have paid tutors who will assist you in whatever course necessary, depending if the tutor meets that, is teaching that certain course. In addition to this, we also provide other academic stipends and scholarships and paid opportunities such as advising, paid tutorship / mentorship, and research positions for our upperclassmen, undergraduate upperclassmen. And more so, probably the more exciting and more appealing to all of you is the social aspect. So we'll have monthly meetings and other such events that allow students to interact with one another. Because I think everyone here can say, every one of the staff and students here can say that building connections is unarguably one of the most important things you can do in any field. Because by building those connections, you have access to other resources and services that you may have not had otherwise. And finally, we just provide also some services to our groups that have supported us, or even just general community service. But I know that some of you are, thinking to yourself, oh, well, this is just all talk. What's the actual evidence of this? So here we have an example of national competitions that we sent students to in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And so what this is that it's a launch of a rocket where students had built it from start to launch. And here is the video. So you can see here that we send our students to these activities to try and get them to interact with these events. And it's all paid by NSEM. We have other research experiences for undergraduates and internships, such as we sent up some students up to Hawaii Island to conduct research and such on the left and on the right. And even more so, we have provide for travel opportunities to even out of state as well, not just in state. So we sent some individuals out to the University of Alaska in Anchorage and the ACES National Conference in Minnesota. So with all this being said, we even have other workshops as well that we mentioned slightly in our social aspects, where we provide other aids and such, or even tips and advices if the student would like to come in. And finally, and more so for the future references, we have our first and second year experiences, which are mirror similarly to our freshman bridge and have similar aspects, just slightly different classes and such. But it still helps you get rid of certain requirements and such, and helps you advance faster throughout the program. But if all of this sounds appealing to you, you can just head to our website. The link is down at the bottom, and you can apply for NSEM down at that link. And we hope to see you all here. Thank you again for attending our presentation. And if you ever wish to contact us, here's our email, our website, our Instagram, and our Facebook. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Kama and NSEM.